And welcome to the Aaron Katzman Show. I'm your host, Aaron Katzman, who speaks about your life, your money, and your investments. And as always, we're coming to you from the spiritual and soon to be financial capital of the world, Jerusalem, Israel. If you like this content, please hit the like button below. If you've not yet done so, please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. And if you think somebody may find this of interest, why don't you go ahead and hit the share button and you can share it with them as well. So, lots of calls, lots of new accounts that have dealing with or come from inheritance. So I'd like to speak a little bit about that today. When it comes to receiving an inheritance, for some reason, we all tend to think our parents or our grandparents were Warren Buffett. The most common mistake I see when people make when they receive an inheritance, especially stock and bond portfolio, is that they become emotionally attached to each position that they receive. While usually this would apply to inheriting one's parents last week, and it wasn't just last week, I think earlier this week even, and 2 weeks ago, yada, yada, yada. I had a phone meeting with somebody actually in the US who received money from a grandparent. After reviewing their goals and needs, it became super apparent that the inherited portfolio, left as it is, would be a major mistake. When I suggested making some changes in the portfolio and tilted a little bit more towards growth, I was met with, I don't want to make any changes. My grandfather was really, really smart. I trust what he did for me. To which I responded something like, your grandfather was a very smart investor and had a great portfolio for somebody who was like 92 years old. But you're 33 years old and you have a different, totally different financial reality. So I explained the reasons that his grandfather was holding certain positions for tax planning, income generation considerations, and the like. And these reasons just weren't relevant for someone so young, right, in their early 30s. Along those lines, which I've already mentioned, sentimental reasons totally play here. People refuse to make any changes to the portfolio they've inherited. The problem with this is that your needs and goals are far different, as I said, than of your parents, your grandparents, whoever the deceased was. I like to encourage clients to start from scratch. Define your own goals, your own needs, and then create a portfolio with an allocation that will help you achieve those goals. Take a step back, right? Catch your breath. You don't have to do anything immediately. Too often, people fall into the trap, and they tell me all the time, oh my gosh, the money just is sitting around. I'm losing money by not investing, okay? So, just to clear that up, first of all, the market might drop while you invested haphazardly, quickly, and you would have lost money. But even that, right? So money sitting around for a month or two, how much is it going to make, right? It's 3%. Let's say $300,000, 3% is $9,000 a year. So that comes to about $750 a month. No, it's not the end of the world if you don't get invested right away. But mistakes can be really costly. That I can tell you. I've seen people do really, really dumb things with inheritances because they just couldn't wait. They had no patience. They had to get the money invested, and it cost them dearly. It's far more prudent, far more efficient to define what your goals are and what your needs are. No hurry. Nothing's going to happen if it's a month or if it's 2 months or if it's 3 months. It can't be 5 years, but a couple months, you're still grieving for the deceased. Take a deep breath, take multiple breaths. One thing that I tell people to do, it's really funny when they get it, is after a month or two, write like 5 things you want to do with the money, put it on a piece of paper and stick it in a drawer. And a couple months later, do the same exercise and compare lists. See if anything has changed. As time goes by and we become a little bit less emotionally attached, a little bit more rational about what we're trying to accomplish, again, your goals may change. Make financial order, right? Figure out what you want to do, both long and short term, with the money. Maybe you want to use it to pay off some or all of your mortgage or get out of debt, help children, give money to charity, supplement your current income, plan for retirement, maybe all of the above. Depends how much you get. You can't do everything if you get $300,000. If you get $10 million, you can do a lot more, right? It's probably a good idea to sit with a professional who actually has experience doing this, working with people who get inheritances, because it can be overwhelming. Believe it or not, it's not so simple when you come into a windfall. I've spoken about it lots and lots of times. Sometimes windfalls can destroy people. And what do I mean by that? I'm not emotional. I'm not talking about emotionally. And we all know about, winners of lotteries who go bankrupt and stuff like that. Why do they do that? Because they're not prepared and they don't have the right professional team around them. And they're pulled in all kinds of different directions and bankruptcy happens. Now, just think when you're not winning $50 million in the lottery, but you're getting a couple $100,000 in an inheritance, or even a couple $1 million in inheritance, but you're still getting pulled, right? I want to help my kids. I want to pay this off. I want to pay this off. I want to buy this. I want to buy that. It can cause problems if you're not prepared, right? So take your time. Nothing's going to happen if you wait a little bit. Financial advisors are going to help you look at things objectively. They'll help you stay level-headed. They've got lots of experience in these areas. If you work with somebody who has a lot of experience in these areas. So your grandparent or your parent or your aunt, whoever it is, they were smart with their money. And it's not just your turn to inherit the money, but try and inherit their smarts, their financial smarts as well. Invest the money correctly for your own financial well-being, for your own financial situation. That's what they would have wanted, right? They're leaving you this blessing for it ultimately, right, to be a blessing for you. And it would be a shame if you take it and you ruin it because you didn't think things through. You didn't have any patience. You were in a hurry. Everybody who recommended something to you jumped on. That's not the way to deal with an inheritance, right? Be smart, slow, steady, rational. Leave the emotions out of it. It's not easy, but leave the emotions out of it. And if you don't think you're capable of doing that on your own, which most people probably are not, seek the advice of a professional because they can be a sounding board for you. They've got a lot of experience in this field also. So that's it. Okay. Just a few tips on how to handle an inheritance or any kind of windfall, but we're specifically speaking here about inheritances. You've been watching the Aaron Katzman Show. We spoke about your life, your money, and your investments. If you like this content, please hit the like button below. If you've not yet done so, please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll speak to you soon.